In a world where animated characters are immortal, one beloved background character from The Simpsons has done the unthinkable. He's gone and kicked the proverbial bucket. Folks, brace yourselves because this just in from Springfield, Larry the Barfly, that perennial patron of Moe's Tavern, has left us. Yes, you heard it right. After nearly 35 years of pulling up a bar stool and nursing his ever-present beer, Larry has shuffled off this mortal coil, leaving a Larry-shaped hole in the heart of Springfield. Now we all know that in the animated universe, characters are as ageless as the reruns we watch. They don't age, they don't change, and they certainly don't die. But Larry, it seems, missed that memo. His departure has sent shockwaves through the fan base, with reactions ranging from surprise to downright disbelief. After all, if a background character in The Simpsons can pass away, what's next? A world where Wile E. Coyote finally catches the Roadrunner? But let's not get ahead of ourselves. For now, we raise our Duff beers to Larry, who's raised more than a few laughs in his time. Stay tuned as we dive into the life and times of Larry the Barfly, a character whose bar stool at Moe's Tavern has seen more action than a lazy boy during a Simpsons marathon. Larry, a man of few words and many drinks, was the quiet cornerstone of Moe's Tavern. For nearly 35 years, he was a comforting presence hunched over the bar, nursing a pint, a background regular who we all came to know and love. Larry was the epitome of the silent but deadly type. Silent in terms of dialogue, but deadly in his ability to steal a scene with just a nod, a shrug, or a well-timed sip of his beer. The perfect embodiment of what we call the silent majority in Springfield, the ones who don't say much but are always there, making up the fabric of the town. Even though he was a minor character, Larry was a major part of the experience at Moe's Tavern. His consistent presence made him a familiar face for viewers, like that one piece of furniture you have had for decades. It's not the most glamorous or the most expensive, but it's been there for so long that you can't imagine your home without it. Larry was to Moe's Tavern what Norm was to Cheers, albeit far less verbose. He was the quiet regular, the barfly who was as much a part of the tavern as the sticky floors and the questionable beer on tap. His love for Moe's was unmatched, perhaps only rivaled by his love for the next round. And let's not forget his silent camaraderie with the other barflies. You know, the kind that only comes from sharing a space for years on end, exchanging glances and understanding nods without uttering a single word. That's a level of friendship that's hard to come by, even in the world of animation. Larry's impact on The Simpsons was subtle, yet significant. His presence spoke volumes about the everyday folks of Springfield, the ones who make up the crowd scenes, the ones who don't have any lines but are always there, making Springfield the town we know and love. It's clear that Larry was more than just a barfly. He was a symbol of the silent majority, always there but rarely heard, much like our Aunt Edna at family parties. So what happens now that Larry's gone? Who will occupy that well-worn bar stool at Moe's, you might be wondering? Well, the dynamics at Moe's Tavern are bound to shift. After all, Larry brought more than just a thirst for Duff beer to the table. His background banter and unique presence were a staple of the bar's ambiance. Let's imagine for a moment. Could we see Moe himself in a fit of nostalgia, start commandeering Larry's old spot? Or perhaps Barney, in an effort to expand his own personal space, might annex Larry's territory? Or how about this? A surprise contender like Comic Book Guy venturing beyond the comic store to bring his unique brand of sarcasm to Moe's Tavern. The possibilities are as endless as Homer's appetite for donuts. But one thing's for certain, whoever takes Larry's place has some big shoes, or rather, a well-indented bar stool to fill. As we wrap up, let's pour one out for our departed friend Larry. His presence, though mostly silent, was an integral part of The Simpsons. Larry was that familiar face at Moe's Tavern, the ever-present barfly who was part of the fabric of the show for nearly 35 years. His departure has left a void, one that can't be filled by just any background character. The reaction from fans was a testament to his impact. Shock, sadness, and even a tinge of humor marked the social media landscape. Fans mourned the loss of a character who, despite his minor role, was a constant, a comforting presence in the ever-changing world of Springfield. But let's not forget that Larry, in his own unique way, taught us a valuable lesson. How to be present yet unnoticed, a skill that would certainly come in handy at those awkward social gatherings we all dread. And so, as we say goodbye to Larry, we remember him not for his words but for his silence, his dedication to his bar stool, and his uncanny ability to be both present and unnoticed. A skill many of us wish we had at awkward social gatherings. Subscribe to the channel for more informative and humorous videos.